It's coming down to the wire, folks. It's happening right now, and if you had any questions about who you are, what you believe, you need to sort all that out now. If you have misconceptions, if you have doubts, paranoia, weird feelings in your pinky toe, whatever that is, you need to work that out, because right now, what we have going on in Ohio's 11th district is pretty cut and dry. It does not take rocket scientists to figure this out. And I'm going to explain this one more time. I guess it's one more time. I may have to do it at least one more time, an additional time to this, maybe 2 more times. Sometimes you can tell who's on your side just by who's against the person that's in question. Sometimes you can tell who's on your side just by who's against the person that you are questioning. Now, I understand, man. People are reluctant. People are concerned. People feel like that they're not getting the support that they think they should get. They're frustrated. And I understand frustration. I'm frustrated. But if you're questioning a turn, all you got to look at is who she's running against and who's supporting her. No, it's not a Jedi mind trick where they pretend to support Shontel Brown over Nina Turner just to get you to vote for Nina Turner. No, that's not it. The mental gymnastics that people go to just to say, instead of just saying, hey, I don't know what to do, Tim, please give me some advice. Just ask for advice, man. Close your eyes. Close your ears and go to NinaTurner.com, because when Hillary Clinton, James Clyburn, dark money, horrible groups, centrist, Republican-like groups like the Third Way start endorsing the candidate against the person that you used to support, I don't know if you still do, but when you see that happen, Johnson, it is what it is. Sometimes the sky is just blue, Johnson. Sometimes water is just wet. It's not a figment of your imagination. What you are seeing unfold in Ohio's 11th district race has not happened to this level before. Now, I'm not saying Nina Turner is the second coming. She's a human being. But to somebody, she's the second coming, it appears, because they're funneling money on hand over fist to try to stop Nina Turner from winning this thing. And why do you think it is they're putting money into Ohio for this little congressional seat? Why is it so important that Hillary Clinton, James Clyburn, the DMFI, and Israel Pact or Super PAC, Third Way, supporter of all things centrist Democrats, Third Way, $250,000, DMFI, $1 million funneled in, and we still have morons saying, I don't know if Nina supports us. Of course she supports us. That's why the money. That's why they call it money, Johnson. That's why they're spending it.
Checking in with you. We have 9 days left in this campaign, and we are running really hard, running strong. I want to thank all of you from across this district, across this state, and across this nation for pouring into a movement that is lifting people. What we are fighting for is a humanitarian cause, one that says that people deserve health care, that people deserve a minimum wage increase. It has not increased in 12 years. But meanwhile, back on Wall Street, meanwhile, back in CEO boardrooms, they have constantly gotten increases in their money, but the everyday people of this nation have to beg for theirs. So it's time out for that. We're running to lift the House of Labor. We are running to lift women. We are running to lift our children, to lift our elders. What we are running for is transformational. We're running and fighting to change a legal system that is patently racist and classist. We are running to ensure that people have universal health care in this country. And you know what? There are many forces that don't like that. So I just got a message from my campaign manager that Third Way has jumped into this race too. Hello, somebody. You got all of these big money groups coming into Ohio 11th District to taint this race, to upset the stasis in this district in ways that has never, ever, ever been done before. So all of us, if you care about racial justice, if you care about climate justice, whatever justice you care about, it is in peril as long as dark money, dirty money groups can just creep on in here and manipulate and malign. And that's exactly what they are doing, and they were invited in. There are 13 candidates in this Democratic primary, and only one person invited dark money in by putting a red box on their website. And it really is a shame. It is beneath this district. And the voters of this district, the people who live, work, fight, pray in this district deserve so much better. So I am calling on this movement. I am calling on conscious-minded people to stand up against these dark money interests. Because guess what? It's the 11th congressional district today. They did it against Bowman in New York. They did it against Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in New York. They did it against Congresswoman Cori Bush in Missouri. You name it. These people are trying to buy this election. There is a difference between individuals endorsing and saying that they're for a candidate, and another thing for people to pour in millions of dollars to fight against one candidate. And that is exactly what is happening. And you know what? Because they fear our movement.
Yes. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening, Johnson. And it's for one reason. They not only fear the movement, they know that it will continue to grow stronger. I've been telling you this since day one. I've been covering, I think I've done the most robust coverage of Nina Turner's race. Not just when the polls came out and they look good. You've been on top of this. So, some people want to make this about Clyburn coming out and that Clyburn was called out, and that's the reason why Clyburn came out and endorsed Shontel Brown. To me, that's a ridiculous statement, and it's just an easy way out. It overlooks some facts. But here goes David Weigel from the Washington Post. And look, I met David. We talked. Known David for years. But I disagree with this tweet. Here goes this tweet. Because this is the narrative that they want to spin about this race. That if Nina loses, it's Nina's fault. So Weigel said this. He said, if Brown ends up winning in Ohio and it's close, the TYT Killer Mike event where Killer Mike made fun of Clyburn's Biden endorsement will have played a role. The Brown campaign immediately sent the clip to Clyburn. Clyburn, I guess this is Clyburn quoted, here it is. I personally got involved when I was invited by the Turner campaign. They talked about my stupidity for endorsing Joe Biden, and I just kind of decided if I'm going to be stupid, might as well be stupid. So, this, first of all, folks, this is just camouflage for what Clyburn was already planning to do anyway. Second of all, to say that your actions of endorsing Joe Biden without an actual tangible benefit to the black community other than Juneteenth, to say that that was stupid and lacked strategy, that's actually fundamentally going to change the lives of black folks in America, that's not stupid at all. That's just a fact. I guess I should say that's my interpretations of a fact, of a sober mind and a clean constitution, to say that, because it makes perfectly good sense. I mean, if you're going to give someone South Carolina and then say that you're giving them the black vote and he says he needs black people to win, and you have no other ask except a holiday that we already been celebrating privately or amongst ourselves. In D.C., we celebrate Juneteenth every year. Check my website. I've been selling T-shirts for it for the last 3 years. Now that white people join us in this, and it's not like we get an extra holiday, but that's not the point. The point is, if you could ask for something tangible that benefits black folks for giving Biden the presidency, you should do that. And then to act like he's upset, he's offended that someone make that claim. That just goes to show who's around Clyburn. who supports James Clyburn, that the first time he heard pushback for his Juneteenth strategy, maneuver, was Killer Mike, a rapper, on a panel at TYT. You hadn't heard that from your inner circle? Representative Clyburn, if you hadn't been pushed back about your choices regarding Joe Biden and your strategic skills or your maneuvering, your negotiation skills on behalf of the black community for the black vote, I think you need some more people around you that are not ass kissers. So, but see, David Weigel, I told David Weigel what I thought, and then he doubled down. Well, he doubled down, then I told him what I thought. Because Mr. Weigel said this, he said, Turner had done nothing to antagonize them leaders up to that point. As Daniel Murrins put it, she ran a normie campaign, all about traditional Democratic issues. Then she seemed to agree with Killer Mike, and Clyburn went Super Saiyan. Yeah, that's a reference to the fighting game that from the fighting game we used to play back in the day, right? Anyway, here. Once again, folks. Once again, real quick. Once again, David Weigel wants us to believe that, the Congressional Black Caucus, that James Clyburn, the third highest ranking member in Congress, is triggered. He was so triggered by saying he should have negotiated better on behalf of black folks that he had to jump into a race and put his finger on the scale and get involved and go down and campaign. Well, first of all, like I stated before, it's not true and it's not based in reality. Sounds like a good story. I mean, if you like C-level independent movie films that don't have good budgets, don't have good actors, no diss. It sounds like a very weak plot. I mean, it would mean Clyburn is petty upon petty, and he's 80 years old, so being super petty at 80 for what a young man with one Michael Render's accusation or assertion, his own personal opinion, and be kind of whack. Not to mention, I read an article that kind of points to the real reason why James Clyburn got involved in this race, why he went out to support Shontel Brown. Had nothing to do with Killer Mike. Sounds good, though. So this is taken from an article in The Nation. And it says, and the only thing you get is for a federal holiday and nothing tangible out of it. Turner interjected, you better talk about it. People indeed talked about it. And Clyburn came out for Brown days later. But the South Carolina Black Caucus dean was always expected to endorse Brown, a Marshall Fudge protege. The head secretary has officially stayed neutral because of her federal job, but her mother endorsed Brown. In December, Turner told Vanity Fair that she envisioned her eventual election formalizing an alliance between the powerful CBC and the Congressional Progressive Caucus, which had already endorsed her. Cavelli? The Black Caucus united with the Progressive Caucus. Watch out, baby. But in June, a Turner ally told me, this race is going to wind up with Nina running against the CBC. See, so look, guys, here's the deal. To use a quote from Joe Biden, here's the deal. This ain't rocket science, man. Dave wants to act like the temperamental, cantankerous James Clyburn got his feathers ruffled. He was offended, so he came out. But this was always the plan. As Zena stated, as which I tweeted. So you're trying to tell me that Hillary Clinton, the third way, James Clyburn, and who else? I don't know, the AMFI or the MFI, whatever that organization is, they all came out because of Michael Render, Killer Mike's comment? Or was it because they just want to stop the left, the progressive left? I mean, they didn't endorse, they came out and fought against Cori Bush. They came out and fought against Jamal Bowman. They came out and fought against AOC. And now when they come out and fight against Nina Turner, it's not because of the latter path that they've already chosen. It's because of Killer Mike. I see a scapegoat. And I see some nonsense. That's what I see. The CBC has been mad at progressives. Progressive Black Caucus set for Missouri showdown. Now, this is taken back from Cori Bush's race. The attempt to oust Clay has infuriated his allies in Congress, especially the CBC, which his father, then Rep. Bill Clay, co-founded. After watching a handful of other urban white colleagues defeated in recent years, we're talking about Crawley, right? Senior Black Democrats aggressively fought back against progressives, who they say unfairly challenged members of their caucus. So this article, that article there, that article was taken from the tail end of 2019. Not a new thing. So this is not a phenomenon, unrecognizable. Oh my God, someone just got upset and pulled the trigger and went crazy or went Super Saiyan. No, this was a plan. This is well-intentioned. I mean, in fact, some of us are bracing for when Obama finally gets involved. Or is he already involved? It could be behind the scenes making phone calls, cutting deals. I don't know. I mean, that's what's happened before. The bottom line is that the Congressional Black Caucus, who says they're there to support people of color, what they should say, we're here to support moderate centrist Democrats who take Republican money or who do the bidding of Republicans, who are Republicans, if not in name, if not in name, in duty, and action. Corporate Democrats and Republicans are 1 degree separated from one another. We're talking about a couple of social issues, like gay marriage maybe. I mean, there's not much that separates them. Police brutality maybe? So, what's happening in the 11th District is pretty obvious. They're out to stop the more progressive Nina Turner, and they want to support Shontel Brown. So I've been making the case that even if you are concerned with different actions of the squad, I mean, wake up and smell the coffee. I mean, all the dark money's going to Chantel Brown. All the centrists are going to Chantel Brown. I mean, if you want to know what side of the bread is buttered, all you got to do is look at the glistening butter. You ain't got to guess, Johnson. It ain't hard to find. I mean, it's right there. It's obvious. They want her for a reason. And they don't want Nina for a reason. And if you're looking for a reason, there is your reason.
I'm Nina Turner, and I approve this message.
Chantel Brown. She voted to give $32 million to a company connected to her boyfriend and family. Voted to give herself a $7,000 raise while opposing Biden's $15 minimum wage plan. Even worse, Brown's now bankrolled by a slew of Republicans, including campaign cash from a Cuyahoga Republican boss, taking cash from Patriots owner Robert Kraft, a key Trump ally. Chantel Brown. It's hard to tell whose team she's on.
Wow. Robert Kraft, the Patriots. Trump's guy. Dumping money into a local race between Democrats. I haven't seen many people writing about this. Hey, David Weigel. What's up, man? Why haven't you wrote about this? Kind of important to write about this, don't you think? Wonder why would Republicans fund a Democrat? Unless, and look, I'm not saying Shontel Brown's a bad person. We wouldn't want to kick dirt or get in the mud, would we? But maybe a Republican Trump supporter and conservatives, backers of conservatives and Trump supporters, and Trump himself, maybe they're supporting Shontel Brown because she's the closest thing to that and she's more aligned with their interests. I mean, you don't really believe it's because Shontel is more progressive, do you? You don't really believe that, do you? You don't think Robert Kraft is supporting Chantel Brown because he likes her rap style, her lyrical prowess, do you? You know, Chantel Brown is she's pending a possible ethics violation. That's interesting. Why haven't more people written about this? It took The Intercept to break that story. Shout out to Ryan Grimm. I think it was Ryan Grimm over at The Intercept. And so we got a lot to handle here and a lot to examine regarding Shontel Brown. But it's also about the people that are bankrolling Shontel Brown. They gave her money for a reason. And she took the money for a reason. Hell, I'm still hearing them talk shit about Nina Turner getting, what was it, $1,000 from a 30-year friendship. And meanwhile, we got dark money from the DMFI. We got the Third Reich with $250,000. And we got Shontel Brown taking money from Robert Kraft and Republican Cuyahoga fixer, Republican guy. Just wondering. I don't know, maybe that'd be interesting to cover. Maybe that says something. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Could be. Oh, yeah, I know. People are upset with the squad, and the squad is everything wrong. The reason why we don't have health care. The reason why there hasn't been student debt reform. The reason why black folks don't have reparations. All due to the squad. It's kind of whack, Johnson. They like saying that the squad is ineffective, but I wonder why. Answer this. If the squad poses no threat, if the squad is so impotent, please explain why at Third Way tweet just chipped in $250,000 to stop Nina Turner. While you're conjuring up a reason, please go to ninaturner.com. Only 7 days left. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta add this. I almost forgot this. This is my cherry on the top for tonight. Now, this clip was uncovered by a friend on Twitter. Shout yourself out, friend. Maybe I'll tag you afterwards because this is such a priceless clip. So Shontel Brown has been campaigning her heart out, as Nina Turner has been doing as well. And we all know, that Nina Turner has raised a lot of money from active supporters of her campaign. And Shontel has gotten a lot of dark money from outside groups and super PACs. She advertised such on the website. Give me money. Well, if you think that that's a fallacy and I'm making it up just to put a battery in your back, well, the proof is in the pudding. Here goes one of Shontel Brown's rallies. Listen to the crowd response. Look at the attendance and make your own minds up.
Everybody gather around. 1 moment, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Everybody, please come up this way one time. Please come this way, please. One time. Just stand around.
Councilman Bashir Jones. Give it up for him.
And I was down by 6 votes. 11 days later, I learned that there were 23 provisional ballots in my race and that I had won by 7 votes. 7 votes. 7 votes. Can anybody say 7? Okay, so that 7 has been so significant to me because as a child of faith, 7 represents when I became the first woman elected and the first black person elected to lead the largest Democratic Party in the state of Ohio. Now, we are not the most populous county. Despite being a Democratic Party chairperson, I was able to get that done with bipartisan support. Bipartisan support, done unanimously. And along with PCs for People, we were able to provide laptops, free Wi-Fi hotspots for 5,000 students for 2 years. So the stuff I've been doing.
Shontel Brown for Congress. Shontel Brown for Congress. God bless y'all. Thank you for coming out today. Enjoy the festivities. I'll be around.
All right. Woo! Oh, my goodness gracious, Johnson. The MC had to beg for applause, beg people to come around. Please, please, please. I thought he was going to break out and do a James Brown joint. Please, please, please. Come on, everybody, get together. Let's make it look like there's a lot of us. Let's make it look like Shontel Brown has support. Oh, God. I think Shontel Brown and I both have the same applause button. In my own defense, I actually am alone, and I'm not trying to pretend that I'm not. It's just fun to hit that applause button. Hey, Shontel Brown, you're running a great campaign. The fact that you take dark money isn't a problem at all. The fact that you are lying about Nina Turner in all of your ads, we get it. Good thing you didn't give up that Democratic chair seat, because you're going to need to sit back in it. Oops. All right. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you, Johnson. Go to NinaTurner.com. Support a real candidate for progressive change, not a candidate running on old relics and empty canned applause lines and MC begging for votes or begging for people to pretend to be there when they're not. And support someone who's actually going to fight for the people. Shontel Brown's not going to do that. And also, go with a candidate that is not under a potential ethics violation investigation. Be a good idea. Know who your enemy is. All right.